Let's talk about it. What if I told you Daredevil just exposed himself in court and still lost everything? Episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again, Season 2 is absolutely insane. Let's break down everything that happened because there's a lot to go over. The episode starts calm, almost too calm. Matt and Karen are laughing, having drinks. We're seeing the life they could have had, but it's definitely a fake out. Karen wakes back up in court. She's still on trial, still trapped in Fisk's plan in his system, so she's not out of the woods yet. Matt is missing though. He's not in the courtroom with her because he was shot during the courthouse ambush in the last episode. So he's still dealing with that injury. Jessica Jones is patching him up, and we learned that she was planning to leave the city, but Fisk had pushed things too far. Even Matt admits it. He can't take Fisk down alone. Back in court, Fisk's team gets straight to Karen. Heather takes the stand and absolutely tears into her, calling her unstable, combative, and even antisocial. It's brutal. But then Matt shows up. He's injured, he's limping, but he is ready. What starts as a normal cross-examination turns very personal fast because of their previous history. Kirsten reveals Heather actually hit Karen during a prison interview. Now the entire courtroom shifts. Matt pushes harder, asking whether Karen is really hiding behind Daredevil or if Heather is hiding behind her role in Fisk's machine. She did not like this. We're back in Fisk's office and he receives a letter. After finding out that Buck had killed Daniel, he's like, did Daniel deliver Phoebe as promised? And he said no, and just the look in his eyes could see that he didn't have to say he killed them, but they both knew what happened. You could even see a little bit of remorse in Buck's face because we knew that him and Daniel had built up a relationship, and then this is probably hurting him that he had to kill him because they got close. Fisk now knows that Daniel is dead, and then he receives a letter and he opens it and he's just like, well, it looks like Matt Murdock survived the night, because Matt called his real target, Fisk, to the stand. This is where everything changes. Fisk plays the perfect mayor. He's calm, he's controlled. He frames Daredevil and Karen as the villains, blaming them for everything. But Matt starts tearing that story apart. He brings up the Northern Star, a ship tied to illegal weapons trafficking through Fisk's operations. Fisk tries to dodge it, but Matt drops recorded testimony from the ship's first mate. And just like that, the room shifts. Because remember, we had met up with him earlier on in the season. We found him. We got him recorded on camera before he disappeared and was murdered. We got his side of the story of what really happened. And this is when the judges call the defense and the prosecution into the judges' chambers about this evidence. And while they're talking if it should be admissible or not because it's hearsay, blah, 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 Fisk leans in and threatens Matt quietly. He knows that Matt can hear him.
There are things I can say in here that will ruin your life.
I could say the same about you.
Now, Fisk doesn't hear this, but in Matt's eyes, he's just like, I fucking got him. Both of them know what's coming. They're just waiting to see who pulls the trigger first. Then Matt, trying to say that Daredevil could be a witness. He was there. He knows what really happened. He can corroborate that testimony. And they're dancing back and forth. And even Fisk is like, well, we both know who Daredevil really is. Stuff like that. They know what they're dancing around. And then Matt just fucking turns to the courtroom and tells everybody,
You are a fool.
No, I'm not.
I am Daredevil.
silence. No one believes him, and why should they? A blind lawyer. No one's gonna suspect that he's Daredevil, which has been cover the entire time he's been a vigilante. And then he grabs his cane, he throws it like it's his baton, it bounces off the walls, and he just turns around and fucking catches it. And then everyone is just like, whoa, this dude is Daredevil. Even the AVTF agent who I want to slap in the face is just like a blind lawyer who can fight. Everyone now, no doubt that he is Daredevil. Huge moment. Huge fucking moment. We've tiptoed around Matt's identity getting exposed, going back to the original Netflix series, and they just fucking went and did it. I don't know how this is gonna pay off, or if this is gonna lead to something good or something bad in the Daredevil story, but it is what it is. But we knew this was gonna happen because of Mike Coulter's picture that he posted from behind the scenes that Matt's in jail. We already knew that Matt was going to end up there. We just didn't know what the circumstances were going to be, but now we know. He's Daredevil. So now Matt goes back into his testimony, calling out what he saw as Daredevil. He lays it all out. The weapons, the task force was there, the corruption. He even admits he helped destroy the weapons with Jessica, which was that really awesome scene from the last episode, to protect the city. And it works. Karen's case dismissed. Fisk is publicly defeated. But Fisk doesn't lose quietly. Outside, he's hit with charges by the governor, racketeering, corruption, everything. His assets are frozen. They give him a choice that he could resign and give up his citizenship and he wouldn't be prosecuted and end up in jail, or they can go the other route to take him out and it would be messy. Fisk says, do it. So what does he do? He creates chaos. Matt and Fisk are talking outside of the courtroom right after Matt is, outed himself as Daredevil. He's walking out. He's not pretending that he can't see anything anymore. His cover's blown, so whatever. He's walking out. They're having a little chit chat, going toe to toe mentally, so to speak. And Matt hears in the distance something going on. And the AVTF is just like, take the shot. And then we just hear Bullseye say, you got the wrong bullseye, and then shoots and hits Buck, which was awesome. And also need to mention, I forgot to even say it, there was a sniper setting up across the street from the courthouse, dressed up as Bullseye to frame him for this kill. And of course, being the fucking insane person that he is, Bullseye shows up and kills all of them. And it's really fucking awesome. He's just toying with them and it's such a good scene. Definitely look up the full thing on YouTube. It's short, but it is really fucking awesome. Definitely watch it. So after the failed assassination attempt, there's panic. Fisk goes on live TV, declares the city is under attack. But this isn't defense, it's war. Karen realizes this immediately. He's provoking a full-scale conflict, and it's gonna get bad. We see people suiting up. They're dressing all in red, putting on homemade Daredevil masks and all this stuff to show support. So the courthouse turns into a battlefield. Outside, there's protesters, there's task force agents. It's insane out there. Matt suits up, Jessica joins him, and Fisk, you don't even know how insane Fisk got. He goes full monster, brutally attacking civilians after the AVTF agents let them in, because we know that smug son of a bitch, I can't remember his name, he said to start shooting them, and the other agent, the one with the scar in his face, I can't remember his name either, is just like, no. And he fucking hits that smug son of a bitch with his gun and tells everyone to stand down and let those people in. So the AVTF, not in Fisk's control anymore. They're done being corrupt. I'm sure they're all gonna face charges, but he's just like, no, fuck it. This is too much, we're done. Fisk goes full monster. He's brutally attacking civilians, trying to take control through his violence. He folds some people like pretzels. He grabs a guy and bends him at a 90-degree angle from a spine on a corner of a wall, punching people's faces in, sending them flying. It is fucking disgusting. Meanwhile, Matt and Jessica are fighting their way through the AVTF agents. They're all trying to get to each other to lead to this one big moment. Eventually, Fisk is surrounded. He's up above, they're down below. We saw the shot of them all together in the trailer for the season, and then all of a sudden, the crowd just rushes them, and it starts off where Fisk is just beating the absolute shit out of him. He's fucking sending them flying down the stairs, and they are not winning, and then they start to get control, and they start beating him, and they're like, they're going to kill this man. They're going to kill him. But Matt obviously can't let that happen, so him and Jessica rush up. They're trying to break people off of him, and then they try to reason with Fisk, and Matt steps in, and this is another big twist. Matt doesn't fight him, which we all expected. We expected a big fight scene between them, but he offers mercy. He tells Fisk the cycle has to end, or it will destroy everything, including Vanessa's memory, including the city. At first, Fisk rejects it, as he would, but Matt keeps pushing. He's trying to get through to him to just let it go, take the deal, just let's end this for the city. Matt keeps pushing, and finally Fisk says yes. There's no redemption, it's just surrender. He knows it's over. What cost did all of this for this entire episode cause to Matt? The next morning is quiet. Matt and Karen are sitting together trying to figure out what normal even means now, because their life has been crazy for so long. But unfortunately, that moment doesn't last. The police arrive. Matt hears them before Karen does. He knows, even after saving the city, he still has to face justice. So before the officers even come in, Matt kneels, puts his hands behind his head, and he lets himself being arrested. The episode leaves a lot for us to think about. And then we also get a glimpse of what happens after that. We get the return of none other than Luke Cage reuniting with Jessica, and it is great. She's in her office, she's chilling with her daughter, and then in comes Luke, and it's just so good to see him back. I'm so happy that we are getting more Luke Cage and that he's finally here. And then Jess is just like, what are you doing here? Weren't you working overseas? And Luke is just like, they found someone else. And then we cut to Mr. Charles on a plane, and then it slowly pans. He's got our boy Bullseye. So we're gonna see more of Bullseye in a unique way, whether he joins like a new Thunderbolts team or even like Dark Avengers or some sort of anti-hero team. I think we're definitely gonna see him more of. I would like to see him go alongside some of the bigger members of the MCU. I think that would be really awesome, especially the Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers. I think it'd be a really cool dynamic to have him on there. I don't know if we'll get that, but I think that would be really fun. And then we see BB gets hired where Ben once worked. We see Ulrich, I think that's how you say his name, give her the Converse box from season 1 of Daredevil on Netflix with all the Fisk evidence that they had, and says, welcome to the Bulletin. And so she's got his old job, Karen's old job and office as well. So that's really nice to see she's following in his footsteps. And another creepy twist is we finally see Heather put on Muse's mask. We knew this was going to happen, but we actually get to see her put it on, and just, she is now embracing that she is the female Muse. So she's not done yet. So we close out the episode. Fisk is alone, Matt is in prison, and Daredevil, his war might just be getting started. We see him in prison. He's in there. He's happy. He's fine. We see all the AVTF agents all in prison, even that smug one and the one who decided to turn on Fisk. He's facing justice for what he did, but you know what? He wanted to do the right thing in the end. So it kind of made the same sacrifice as Matt. He knew he did wrong shit, deserved to pay for it, but wanted to try to help people before that happened. So I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, if you want a breakdown of my thoughts of what season 3 could look like, definitely hit subscribe, because we need to talk about what comes next. I'm definitely gonna be putting out a video really soon about what I think season 3 and going forward in the MCU should be for Daredevil, Luke Cage, and all those Defenders characters, Fisk, all that stuff. I'm gonna be putting together a video for that, so definitely take a look out for that. But thanks for watching, and have a great day.